Yeah, Lee Sin getting some aggro put onto him. He's gonna have to retreat back to his jungle. I believe, yeah, it looks like the Rift Scaler was stolen away from them. Obviously, OneSnap, both teams actually want to secure that vision so they have that around the Drake, especially since it's going to be upcoming pretty soon here. So yeah, OneSnap is on the back foot, but we've seen them come back in the past. We'll see how they manage to deal with this. You take a look at the minimap on your screen. Looks like Olaf is actually having kind of a tough time dealing with Singe, which is a bit surprising in my opinion.
Same. Like I was surprised. I think it's just because Singe runs so fast, and then he also does pure damage. So if Olaf just activates ult and runs in, Singe is gonna activate his ult and run away. And the more you chase, the more damage you take.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, a little bit push action.
Yeah. Looks like as we switch the point of view here over to Omega, they take the tower and they're like, all right, see you later, guys. Nothing else to do here. They're gonna get ready. Gonna pick up some items to get ready for that dragon. As you can see on that mini map is up in 10 seconds at the moment. We'll see who picks up the next streak.
Another interesting thing about the both side comp is if you look at OneSnap, they don't really have that strong of a team composition on team fights either. They mainly rely on Lee Sin to engage. Sona is not really engaged and more of a disengage with that ultimate. Dragon.
Ooh. Okay, so it looks like you saw that OneSnap was on the dragon for quite a while there, and obviously Omega saw that as well because we're looking from Omega's perspective. They wasn't able to use the curtain call to get the steal there. Good smite usage there from the Lee Sin. So looks like we have a 1-1 as far as our dragons are concerned here.
But
so pretty even in that regard. But the turrets are going over to the side of Omega in a major way. They've taken all 3 tier 1 turrets down.
Yeah, absolutely. This is gonna give them a lot of control over the map. They can extend to enemy jungle a lot more. So I think in the near future we're gonna see a lot more invade coming from Omega as well. When I was playing or training from a master before, the master once told me, like how you actually treat the towers, you just connect all the dots, like we draw all lines in between all the dots. Dots being the tower, obviously. So if you draw all the towers, draw the lines, that the entire net is a coverage of the control you have over the map. And then once you take over the enemy towers, you can see now if you look at the OneSnap side, if you draw all the towers, connect all the towers together, the little control they have doesn't cover the jungle anymore. So enemy can easily invade.
Yeah, exactly. We're taking a look at Blanche here from Lee Sin, and if you look at where he is, at any moment Omega could come and try to fight them, right? Because if OneSnap try to run away, they can only run away backwards. They can't run away sideways, and that makes it so it's a completely even playing field, even though we would nominally be on the side of OneSnap here.
True. More engaged. Look at Omega though, looking for some action. This might get very spicy real quick.
Yeah, they're getting right up in their face as we take a look at the point of view of time-lapse here on that Jhin, trying to get as deep in there as possible, get those bush tactics going, try to find a pick. There aren't really objectives to be taken right now. Obviously, Omega doesn't feel like they can take the Baron when they have such a slim gold lead. It could just throw the game if they go for that, and obviously there's no Drake available quite yet. So they're looking to just pick up a nice pick up a pick and go from there to the dragon. And as you can see, OneSnap is playing this very defensively, and so both teams are doing basically what they should be doing, right? The Omega's looking for a pick, and OneSnap is doing a good job of defending.
OneSnap is definitely counting on the big Kai'Sa, skilled into the late game. Once Kai'Sa get those farms, get those core items, Kai'Sa doesn't lose to anyone on the side of Omega. Kai'Sa can just come in, especially if you have a good position. He can clean up their entire team pretty quick because everyone from Omega Smart is really, really squishy. It doesn't really take Kai'Sa a lot of shots to kill one person. I think right now he had the skill 1 enhanced a long time ago, so that one skill 1 probably can take away like 60% of anyone from Omega's help.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the point you made earlier, the fact that there's a lot of poke champions on the side of Omega, and not a great team fighting comp, which means that they're gonna try to just macro this game out, right? Yeah. If you're watching Omega and thinking like, why aren't they just taking the fight to them? Why aren't they just kind of diving the turrets and trying to kill them? It's like that's not how their team comp works. They just want to play the macro game, kill turrets slowly but surely, kind of use their poking ability to keep the other team off of objectives, and eventually they just lean on them, right? Enough towers die that they just win the game through
Yeah.
TKO, right? Just eventually they win the game. And so that's why it's so hard for Omega to push in, and why it's smart here for OneSnap to just keep playing defense.
Yeah. Now, this defense can only last for so long. So at a certain point, you gotta have to find a window to turn it around. Like that also pretty much depends on like the power spike of Kai'Sa. Whenever Kai'Sa says, "I'm ready to go," like I think I can kill their entire team now. That's when you need to take a team fight. Because really, if you keep on letting enemy take everything, once you get to Elder Dragon, you might get to the point where you just can't return the game anymore. You can't turn the game around anymore.
Yeah, although in my opinion, I think that Elder Dragon is not for even a little while here. Yeah, you see, they just gave up the Ocean Dragon straight up. They're like, we don't want to fight. We know we're behind. It's hard for us to approach the Drake because of the vision you guys have. So I think this is a good decision here from OneSnap. And yeah, like you said, they're just going to wait for Kai'Sa to get her items up and running. She only has 2 completed items at the moment, as you saw there. And she probably wants 3 items plus maybe completed boots, and then she can get off and running.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kai'Sa still need quite a bit of time to scale. A little bit more skirmish.
Okay, Corky, he's using that package. If you guys don't know, Corky's one of the newer champions, obviously. Well, it came out, I guess, like a few weeks ago. But you get the package at the base, and it only lasts for so long. Corky's like, I'm going to make the most of this package, and just kind of YOLO'd in there, but YOLO'd right back out.
Yep. Now we're looking at Omega's perspective, and then you can see that they're already starting Baron. If OneSnap just give this away.
Is stolen by the Lee Sin at the very last moment. Huge plays coming out from Lee Sin on the other side. He does pay for it with his life, but I would say completely worth it. Now the members of OneSnap are going to have that Baron buff on their side, and they can actually start counter pushing here once Lee Sin comes back, or even maybe just go 4v5 and start pushing out the lanes.
Oh my goodness! What a steal! That surely turns stuff around.
Yeah, and like you said, talk about the fact that Omega doesn't really have a team fight comp, so it was really hard to push Lee Sin out of there. All they can do is kind of poke.
Yeah, and right now you can see that OneSnap is taking advantage of that steal, like taking full advantage of the sacrifice from their teammate, and trying to push on the tower here. Look at Corky's damage. I mean, I really don't think this hero is do that much damage. I think it's more of a tickling, just...
Sorry, that was kind of funny. So if you guys don't know, Zig's second ability actually does damage to turrets, so he just threw that down and just completely destroyed the turret. I think it does extra damage if the turret's below like a
25,
like 25%. Yeah, 25%. So that's why you saw it just completely melt there.
It just kills the tower. If the tower is below 25% health, it doesn't matter how much. It kills it instantly.
Yeah.
So and they have a push comp. They have Ziggs because that's basically tell you they have push comp because of Ziggs, and then they on top of it they have the Baron buff. So there's no better time than now to push those towers.
Yeah, and you see how important the Baron buff is. If you guys are underestimating the Baron buff and not pushing the lanes when you do get the Baron buff, you see how much that can change here. We saw OneSnap was behind the entire game, right? They were down 2-4. They were down 3 turrets, and they were kind of playing defensive the entire time. The instant they get the Baron, even despite the fact they lost the fight technically 0-1, they still were able to push down 2 turrets after the fact and almost got a 3rd turret. So that is the power of the Baron buff for you.
Yeah. And once you have the Baron buff, just a side note, make sure you're using it to push towers. Because Baron buff, the strength of it is actually the buff it provides to the minions, not really to you. Because you probably play the game, you played enough. Even sometimes when you have the Baron buff, you will still lose team fights to the enemy if they're strong enough. Or even if they're even, you will still lose team fights. Because Baron buff doesn't give, even though it does give a little bit AD and AP scaling, it doesn't give that much. It's not like Elder Dragon just give you straight out true damage, So we always say that Elder Dragon is a dragon for team fights. Baron buff is always for push. If you get a Baron, don't try to contest Dragon because you think you have Baron buff. It doesn't give you, because when you try to contest Dragon, it's basically ask for team fights. But just use Baron buff to push towers. That's how you take advantage of it.
Yeah, there is like the weird offside where, hold that thought. We might have an actual fight here going on. The Olaf is actually pushing in. We have the engage from our Lee Sin as well, but they're going to go ahead and back off in the end. Sona providing that healing as they do retreat. But oh my goodness, extremely low here is the ult here popped off from Jin. Enough protection here from the Sona to kind of get him away. On the other hand, we have the Sin going extremely low here for Omega, and that causes both teams to kind of retreat. But surprising that that both teams actually took the fight, and even more surprising, Omega actually won. They're going to go ahead and go for this dragon right here. Looks like they're going to get it pretty safely. It takes down the Elder Cloud Dragon, which gives them, I believe, a massive shield here. So they're going to go ahead and try to use this advantage to their favor, looking towards the Baron that is up and available. Another turret falls down here for Omega, but they should be pretty happy about the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, they're gonna be moving really, really fast with a Elder Cloud Dragon. But on top, most important thing on top of that, the movement speed. I think the movement speed is not that important compared to how much true damage it gives you right now, because they have 3 dragons. I think they have 3 or 4, right? 3.
Okay, yeah, I got mixed up. Sorry, I heard you correcting me. I got mixed up with the shield. That was the other dragon. Anyways, actually, yeah, just a straight up kill here on Olaf. That is just oof. You hate to see it if you are OneSnap, getting Olaf just straight up bodied there by the combination of the Corki and the Jhin here. There's vision here from OneSnap, so it's going to be difficult for them, or for Omega to take this.
Oh!
For Corki as they go in again on the Kai'Sa, and that is absolutely devastating again if you are OneSnap. That is their carry that is down, and looks like eyes are pointed to the Baron now.
Oh my goodness. The tickling heroes, Corki, is no longer tickling at this point. Thanks to the Elder Dragon, because every time you do damage, it inflicts true damage per second onto your opponent. And then that's how like Corki just straight up deleted that Olaf. Like Olaf didn't even have a fighting chance. I think he was sitting still because he gave up. Or maybe he just like had a little bit lag. I don't know. But he got deleted. And you saw how much damage that Jhin did to the Kai'Sa over there.
Yeah, it seems like they're using the Jhin as this massive threat that OneSnap has to get to, right? But not only is it very difficult to kill the Jhin because he has Guardian Angel, but also as they get closer, the Corki just unleashes, right? He has the ability to kind of burn people down at close range in that scenario, and so he's kind of like the buffer between them and Jhin. Like, don't go for the Jhin, Corki's gonna just destroy you, and if you don't go for the Jhin, he's gonna kill you from long range here. So it looks like that's the kind of strategy here for Omega.
Look at Vi's hiding position. Hiding next to tier 2 tower. They're trying to bait enemy ins here.
Yeah, they don't know that she's in there. Is she going to go?
Vi
goes for the engage, the knock up, and that is an insta-kill onto the Sona. They have the Kai'Sa extremely low as well. The GA does get popped. Looks like the counter-engage comes here from one side, but I don't know if they can take this fight. The ult gets popped here, and Stitch is in the backline, flashing in, going 1v3 under turret. Can he get the kill?
Oh!
The other one, the Lee Sin goes down, and that is a complete ace, 5-4-0, and that is going over to Omega Esports.
It's a quadra kill for the Singed. What did I just witness? Is that? That's a quadra kill for the Singed.
Yeah, that was not something that we expected going into that match. Was a quadra kill for that 0. What a strong game here from Omega.